Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel for more fun with Tichels. My name is Olivia and today's tutorial is how to create the fancy rose Tichel I wore on Monday. In this video I will be showing you how to tie this combination, as well as giving you a few ideas on how to make it your own and create this look using other scarves. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. The original combination was made with two scarves, one of which I found at a local thrift shop. It's a peach color, and at each end, it looks like it's cotton. I don't know exactly, but it looks cotton. At each end, it has these fun sequins, which add great detail. See? And the other one was, I believe it was March, the scarf of the month from Rapunzel. It's a beautiful silk and it has fantastic detailing. It's lovely patterns. I am wearing a Wendy. I have only two shapers and both of which are Wendy's. I took out some of the stuffing because my hair fills up the rest of it. So this, if you don't have a lot of hair, this equals a fully stuffed Wendy. I wear it a little bit more forward so that this rides higher. It doesn't hang down in the back. You could probably do this look with any of your shapers. I haven't tried it with no shaper, but I would think because you don't need a lot of space in the back to hold extra scarves, that you could probably get away with doing it without one, just using a headband. All right, I started by taking my peach scarf and folding over just a small amount in the front and putting it on at a diagonal with one side shorter. I think it was one side shorter, but not quite that short. It was slightly off center. So you want when you bring it around, you want the scarf ends to be about equal. So we'll adjust. That's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna tie a quick knot in the back. Okay, just to check, bring this one up and around. And as you can see, it's slightly shorter, but not dramatically so. Okay, I'm gonna take my silk scarf. This one's a wee bit slippery. And this one, I'm gonna tie it so that, I'll start by folding it over. And I'm gonna tie it so that one end is dramatically shorter than the other. Just bunch up the back. And I like to tie underneath on this side and just on top in that side. So you see, this one is very much shorter than the other side. May even go a little bit shorter. I just need enough scarf to bring up and tie around in a beginner's luck knot around this scarf. So it could probably be even shorter. The silk scarf is quite slippery, but it will behave. Okay. Give this a good tie in the back. Okay, just the diagonal. Okay. Now for this, just going to fold it in just a little bit. Bring up and slightly back. Now the flower placement is your choice. I tend to like it a little further up towards the top of my head. Now I'm going, I don't think it really matters which end you cross over, but whichever is more comfortable for you. Just tie a quick knot there. You can lay these open. It'll be helpful in the next step. Okay. Now I'm going to take, they're adjusting that a little bit. I'm going to take a green. I'm going to bring it up and over and just make it look neat. You can have pleats, you cannot have pleats, but I'm going to tie it with the short end directly over top of the knot in the peach. And then I'm going to tuck this small end underneath. Okay, so now I'm left with this long tail and these two. Now, for this is a sort of organic process, and whichever way your scarf wants to work, you can start at the end and roll it in to make your rose. But this one seems to like when I wrap it, two fingers, seems to like it when I wrap it this way, and then there's a hole where your fingers are popping out. Take the end of the scarf that's left over and pull just slightly through. So if you can see, you have this rather interesting looking flower shape. Now don't worry if it's messy, we're going to pin it and get it into the exact shape you want. So I'm going to take some pins. I forgot to add that you're going to need pins for this look. I'll show them to you. I love to sew, so I have a lot of these pins laying about. They have a large pearl on the ends. It just makes it easier for me to pull them out when I am taking off my Tichel at the end of the day. Now, just stick them in several different places. Again, it's not an exact art or an exact science, it's art. You're creating your flower, and every time I wrap this, the flower looks a wee bit different. Do you see? You're starting to get the look of the flower. You may want it opened up more. You can play with it, get a few pins in, and then you can play with it to make it exactly what you want. As you can try to get up close so you can see. Again, it's what you like. This one is a little bit more open. Now when it comes to pins, I have about a dozen sitting on my table here. So, all right, now once you get your flower the way you like it, I'm going to use a pin without one of the frilly heads. Right there. Once you get that the way you like it, now we're going to start playing with the two other tails, and just sort of tucking and playing with them until they're exactly where you want them to be, exactly the size you want them to be. This doesn't take as many pins because it doesn't need as much support. Place them. Okay, and then this one. Just roll over the ends. Sort of tuck it away. If I can show you, it's just laying underneath, and I'm going to stick a pin in there. Just to secure it. Okay. And the same with this, and tuck away. I don't want to see the parts that aren't sequins, so I just roll them under and pin. And even now you can play with your center rows just to get the look you want. It's not going to look exactly the same every time, but it's quite pretty. All right, and this is the first and the original variation. For my second variation, I am going to use 2 Rapunzel scarves. This one, I think it was the Montverde, and Shimmery in pewter. I'm going to start again by folding over and tying this scarf slightly off center. So bring it up. That looks about right. Okay. And then our shimmery. The same as we did for our second scarf. One extremely long. You can cover the entire thing, or you can just make it cover just the top. I think I like the look for this one. I like the look with it just setting on top. It's kind of sash-like. Okay. A little bit longer. Okay, that's better. Okay, so again, I'm going to just slightly fold in and bring the scarf up and back. And grab your other scarf. Tail that matches. And bring it up. Making sure to leave the second scarf. And give this a tie. Again, you could have your flower further down on the side or further up. Now we're going to spread the back open just a little bit, and then the front. I take the shimmery, find the rough edge. I want the rough edge in because it'll cling to this rather slippery scarf. Bring it up. I'm stuck. There we go. Okay. And tie. Bring this tail back and tuck it away. All right, now we're going to create the flower. With this one, I don't have a lot of scarf, so I'm not going to do the two. I'm just going to roll it around. Let's see. Open it up. You can sort of roll it around. Okay, this is the way I'm gonna do this one. I haven't practiced with this scarf. I thought it would be fun for you to see my process and how I play with the scarves to create different looks. So just create this by twirling to get the center, just twirling, and then take the other end and bring it around. Please forgive me, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb before starting to record. And okay, so we're going to start this rose again. I'm just going to spin. And we're going to bring around the other part. Creating the rose is so much fun. There's so many ways you can do it. And your scarf will let you know how it wants to wrap. Stick a few pins in so you can get a good look at the beginnings of the flower. Don't worry if you're using a shimmery and a couple of your ends are hanging out, a couple of these fringy bits, you will cover those up. We'll stick a pin right down the center. We'll hold this in place. Just pin wherever you think you need it to give it the shape you want. Okay, I think this is the last pin for this. And here's the rose I created with this scarf. I think I like making roses because you really can't make them wrong. They look beautiful no matter what you do. Now for making the surround, I'm going to take the tail and turn it underneath and just let it drape over and around and just sort of play with it until it gets into the shape you want. Let me give this a quick pin because I like where that one laid. And then I'm going to do the same with this end. I bring it around. And tuck it under. Again, don't worry if it's not perfect. You can play with it to get it the way you want. Put a pin. Right, now the second. You can, this one is a fun scarf because it has the two sides are different. One is more red with the gray, and this one is more gray with the red. You could have one way and the other one reversed to add some drama, but I kind of like the same. I like this combination I like the way this particular scarf, the second scarf, drapes. It's very pretty. It's very silky. It gives you a very dramatic poof around the rose, the center rose. So here is the second variation. Okay, because I love doing things in threes and I truly love this scarf, I'm going to show you another combination using this red scarf and a silk and gray stripe. I've already started by doing the same thing, tying both scarves on and folding and bringing up the red and gray tail and the other red and gray tail. Tie our knot and bring up our second tail. And tie our knot. Tuck this end away. Okay, so again, we're going to roll up our rose. And this time I wanted to bring the tail in from the opposite direction. The end of the tail in from the opposite direction. Just to kind of tuck it a little bit. And show you the different variations, the different looks of the flowers. The way you wrap it creates the flowers. So there are endless ways to wrap and endless sorts of flowers. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to pin this in place because I like this look. Pin one on either side of the flower. This will sort of free your hands so you can play with it and get it as you like. I like it just the way it is. I think it's tighter, but it's very pretty. Okay, and now we will make the poofy part around it. Again, we're just turning over the scarf tail. Start in the back, because I think it's easier to start in the back. I'm going to tuck under and try not to get the front tail stuck when I'm pinning. Okay, now again, just maneuver it into place. push in a pin. Okay. All right, and now the front. Again, I'm just taking and tucking it in the back. And I will put a pin in to hold that end, that piece of tail. Push that one in the back. And as you can see, this one is dramatically larger than the other one. Just, again, play with it to get it where you like. I don't mind having the piece touching my face. I had bangs for a long time. So, but if it bothers you, just move it back further. You could even create ruffles by taking pins, preferably without the big noticeable heads on them, and just do like that. All right, and this is my last variation. As you can see, it looks different every single time, but it's still beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit long, but thank you so much for sticking in there with me. Have a great day.